Hey there folks, it's me, TheTacticalBrit, and I'm here today with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm currently at Gamescom, so there might be a little bit of background noise, excuse that. But I am here with Modern Warfare. I finally got hands on 2v2 gunfight PlayStation 4, and I was incredibly surprised and incredibly impressed with what I played. Now, lots of you guys who have been watching the content have known that I've been talking about what it might look like, how things might operate, and the truth is that it was exactly as expected. For those of you who have been watching the content in terms of whether or not it would handle a certain way, like Rainbow Six or Insurgency, that's effectively what I got to see and play. It handles somewhere in between Rainbow Six and a traditional Call of Duty game, which is what you'd expect, and it was incredible. I really enjoyed the feedback of the game. I felt as though if you used, for example, an assault rifle, the assault rifle feedback was perfect. The sound was great. The recoil felt like it was there and worked as you'd expect. The handling of the weapon was there, and it all combined very well. For those of you who remember, firing an assault rifle in Battlefield 3, and it was like, holy, well, this is it. This is the assault rifle. Everybody remembers what it was like firing an AN-94 because it felt like an AN-94. And here's what you get in Call of Duty. You fire an MP5, it feels like an MP5, it feels incredible. You fire, an MP7, it feels like an MP7, it's incredible. And this is ultimately the gameplay experience I had. All the guns handled as anticipated, and because of that, I felt like I was purely in control of every engagement. And 2v2 gunfight mode in particular, I found was great because it actually punished you and rewarded you for how you played. Now, the best example I can think of was on one of the rounds I made an overly aggressive push. Didn't use all the resources at my disposal. I didn't use a smoke grenade. I didn't use the lethal grenades, and I was punished for it. I got completely decimated on that lane in next to no time because, of course, gunfight mode features lanes as opposed to the traditional map layouts and some of the larger modes. And effectively, everything I noticed in the gameplay was everything that I've been describing so far in all of my videos has been more or less accurate. We're seeing a much more methodical Call of Duty. Yes, it still can be quite quick in places. You can push people really fast if you want to, but you have to go about it the right ways. I feel as though it was so easy to try and play in a certain way and get completely punished for it in a fraction of a second. And I noticed this every single gunplay engagement that I had. If I misfired my Odin assault rifle, those bullets that I lost in that engagement came back to bite me later on because I maybe didn't have enough bullets in the magazine to finish the job. And I feel as though just across the board, everything was impressive in that sense. There was never a time during this entire period where I felt as though I wasn't in control of what was happening. And when you get that in an FPS game that gives you the recoil, gives you the sound, gives you the impact, and gives you the control, it fully comes down to you and how you play. And that's the most impressive thing I noticed about Gunfight. Everything I did was the outcome of the game. If I fucked up, it was the outcome. If I got something right, it was the outcome. And I felt like I was learning as I was playing, which is probably the most impressive feature, which is not something you typically find in most Call of Duties. And I was really surprised and really impressed with how that panned out. And I'm really glad that I was actually relatively accurate with how I predicted what would happen. And ultimately, Modern Warfare, I had a great time. I feel like that's something not a lot of people mention in their impressions. I really enjoyed playing gunfight mode today. It was so much fun. I was there for 2 hours. I asked to get as many capture slots and sessions as I could to carry on. And that's the plan, I'm going to try and keep going back over and over again to get more footage before the Alpha on 2v2 releases, which is when I fly home from Gamescom. But ultimately, it was such a great experience. As somebody who makes videos, but just as somebody in general, to play a game that you actually genuinely enjoyed for an extended period of time is not something that happens very often. And I could see myself playing 2v2 gunfight alone for hours on end, let alone the 6v6, 20v20, 10v10, or even potentially 50v50. And I was incredibly surprised and impressed at how much fun I had at the game. It's very easy to get caught up in the hype. I think that's something that happens a lot. But I took a couple of hours before making this video just to calm down a bit, have a think, and see how I truly felt about the game before I decided to, come around here and start talking about it. But all I can think about whilst I'm here at Gamescom is going back for more and playing more. So make sure you watch that live stream on Thursday because it's going to be a blast. But yeah, My overall impressions have been fantastic. I'm going to leave you with some gameplay. It's been me, the Tactical Brit. Ask anything in the comment section down below and I will answer it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the gameplay. There's lots of it. All of this is from my perspective. As always, folks, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again in another video.